Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. This video is part of the YouTube series that I am making called Zero to Hero Business Central. In this particular video, we are going to learn about conditional statements in Business Central. So if you see the definition of conditional statement, a conditional statement is used to test a condition. Based on the evaluation of the condition, it can run one or more statements. For example, let us take the commonly used conditional statements, which are if then else, and nested if else. So basically, if you see if then, it is a simple conditional statement where we have if keyword, then after that we have the condition, and then after that we have then. So if the condition is met, it is going to execute the simple statements or compound statements that follow the if then statement. If the condition is not met, it is not going to execute those particular statements. We are also going to see that in code, so let us wait for that. But let's first check if then else. Here also, if you see, we have if, and after that we have a condition, and we have then, after that we have else condition. So firstly, the flow is going to check for the if condition, and the if condition is met, it is going to execute these particular statements. And if the condition is not met, it is going to actually execute the else statement. So it is if else, and in here we can see we have a condition for if, and if the condition is not met, it is going to execute the else statements. Also, we have nested if else. If a condition is inside another condition, then we can say that as a nested if else condition statements. For example, here you can see we have a base condition. So if the base condition is met, the flow is going to go inside, and in here we are again checking one more condition, if condition. Then if this condition is also met, we are going to execute some code from here. If the condition is not met, we are going to actually execute else statements. If the base condition itself is not met, then we are going to actually execute else statements. So if we have only one statement, for example, in here, if we have only one statement, that can be called as a simple statement, but we have multiple statements, then that can be called as a compound statement. So compound statements needs to be written in begin and end, but simple statements you can write without any begin and end. So let us actually see this in action. Let's see if then else, and nested if else in code. So in here, I have already created a procedure called conditional statements. In conditional statements procedure, I have created two variables, first number, second number. Those are of type integer, and in the first number, I have put the value 10. In the second number, I have put the value 20. And in here, I'm actually checking a condition. If the first number is lesser than second number, then so basically we are putting a condition, and this condition actually yields either true or false value. Depending on the true or false value, this if statement is going to execute this particular statement. For example, in this particular scenario, 10 is lesser than 20, so it should actually execute this particular statement. First number percentage 1 is going to be replaced with first number, so first number 10 is lesser than second number percentage 2, which is 20. So let us actually call this procedure. Let me actually create one more action button on my employee setup page. Let's actually copy this, and let me actually paste in here, and let me actually call this procedure as call conditional statements. So in here, I am actually going to call that procedure. The procedure name that we have created is basically conditional statement. So let me copy this, and let me put over here. So basically from here we are calling that procedure conditional statements, and in conditional statements we are actually checking this particular condition. So let me actually publish this, and let us see how this actually looks in the UI. So let me wait for it to publish. Now it is published. Let me go to my UI. Let me refresh this once, and let us actually go to employee setup page. So let me go to employee employee setup page, and in employee setup page, let me actually click on call conditional statements, and in here you can see first number 10 is less than second number. So basically what we are doing is we are checking a condition inside the if statement, and if the condition is met, we are going to actually print this, and if the condition is not met, we are going to actually print this one. So let me actually uncomment this, and in here you can see we need to remove this, and Let me actually save this one. So basically we are saying if the first number is lesser than second number, print this one. If the first number is not lesser than second number, then print this. So let me actually do the modifications. Let me actually now make the second number as 5. So this condition is not going to be true because first number 10 is not lesser than second number. So it should actually go in the else statement and it should actually give us this message. So let me actually publish this again and let us see how the UI actually looks. So now it is published. Let me go to Business Central. Let me actually refresh this once and let us click on the call conditional statements. Call conditional statements. Now here you can see first number 10 is not less than second number, which is in here, which we have written. So the this statement yields false. So if this condition is false, it is going to go inside else and it is going to execute this particular code. Now let me actually comment this out and let's uncomment this code, and let me actually uncomment this one as well, and let's uncomment this one as well. So basically now what we are doing is we are actually creating one more variable called third number, and in third number I have put the value 40. Let me actually change this to 20 again. And in here we are firstly checking the base condition. If the first number is lesser than second number, it should go inside. So basically first number is lesser than second number, so it will go inside. And in here I'm going to actually sum both first number and second number, and if they are lesser than the third number, again 10 plus first number is 10, 10 plus 20 is 30, 30 is lesser than third number. So it should actually give us this particular message called sum of first number and second number is less than the third number. So let me actually publish this and let us see how it actually looks in the UI. Now let me go to the UI and let me refresh this again once, and let us actually click on call conditional statements. You can see sum of first number and second number 30 is lesser than the third number, because in here first it is going to check the base condition. So first number is less than second number, 10 is less than 20, so it is going to go inside. First number plus second number 30 is lesser than 40, so it is going to execute this particular statement. If this condition is not true, then it is going to actually execute this particular code. So let me actually change this and let's make it greater than. Now the first number plus second number is 30, but that is not greater than 40, so it should actually now print this particular message. So let me again do control F5 to publish again, and once it is published, let us actually see in the UI how does it impact. Let me refresh this once more, and now I'm going to click on call conditional statements. You can see sum of first number and second number is 30 is not lesser than the third number. Okay, let me go in here, sum of first number, and it is actually going to print this one, but we have the same message. So what I can do now is sum of first number and second number percentage 1 is actually not greater than third number. So let me actually publish this because we are doing the greater than, so I did not actually change the message. It was pointing to previous message. So let me actually change the message, and let me now once more refresh this, and let us now click on call conditional statements. And in here you can see sum of first number and second number 30 is not greater than the third number, because now we are actually getting this now, because this is getting called, so we get the message. So that's all conditional statements that we have in Business Central. We are going to cover the loop control statements in the next videos. If you like this particular video, you should consider subscribing to my channel. I'll be uploading more videos in this particular series called Zero to Hero Business Central. And if you don't want to miss them, you should definitely consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you.